Wow. Wow.
It's been an eventful few days.
Wow. It's there's a lot that's going to happen today. You might notice there's an empty chair over here. That is because we have a guest.
This guest is pretty special because in the diving world, or as far as me being a diver, Brandon being a diver, this is one of our biggest fears. What happened to him?
It's crazy. It's probably the craziest thing. And this is also our first guest that we don't know on a personal level. Yeah. I got to talk to him a little bit obviously before the podcast, but before the whole incident that we're going to break down into. But we have a lot in common with this guy, which is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
And by the way, we have some big podcast news for you guys. So the Banger podcast is now officially available on every streaming, viewing, every platform, even platforms that you don't know exist. It exists on there.
It'll be linked in the description below.
Yeah, so if you guys are watching on YouTube right now, it'll all be linked in the description below. You guys can watch, view, subscribe literally anywhere and on every platform in the world right now, which is sick.
So crazy.
We're also redesigning the set.
Yeah. We got some big plans for the set as far as obviously a logo.
Yeah, it's been empty on the walls. We know. We are so sorry. We've been filming this for a week, but these podcasts have been trickling out for a month now. Yeah. So you guys are probably thinking we need to step up our game.
But we got some big stuff. We got the logo and stuff coming up on the wall. Also, we're going to have some type of treasure, something like that. And also...
big fish tank.
A big fish tank.
Big old fish tank, bro. So we want to know what kind of stuff you guys want to see in the fish tank.
I know it's really hard to have a saltwater fish tank, but dude, imagine having a pet shark.
Yeah, but guess who has to take care of that all the time?
You.
Me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll do goldfish.
Yeah, but I do want to drop some treasure and stuff in the tank. I think it'd be super cool.
Yeah,
super cool. You know what's really cool?
No.
Surviving an alligator attack.
That's what we're talking about today. Our guest that we're bringing on, he was actually bitten by an alligator.
Yeah, I mean,
in a crazy place.
In his
junk. I'm just kidding.
Wait, I thought you were saying the location. No. So what's crazy is I actually work out at this gym. I have one of the people reach out to me. They're like, hey, I know you do treasure and you do artifact stuff. And they're like, there's this guy that I'm friends with. I want to introduce you to him because he does the same kind of stuff. And you know us, we're always looking for stuff to try to film.
Trying to branch out.
Yeah, man. It's dude, I can only go to the places I know.
The more friends you make in the outdoor space, the more content you can create. And obviously just meeting new people that have so much in common that you would never know.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. So
I got in touch with him. We talked a little bit, just kind of shot some ideas back and forth. And next week on the news, I see my new friend with big old bandages on his head. And he luckily is alive and well because we're having him on the pod today. I don't know how much we can tiptoe around this without just bringing him on.
Let's just bring him in.
I know. I wanted to talk and just kind of catch the people up in our lives. But guys, we're going to introduce you to our guest, Jeffrey. He is one hell of a freaking guest, man. You can come on up, man. Come sit down anytime. Dude, there's not many people who get to, experience something like this and be able to sit on a podcast and tell us about it.
Dude, just survive.
Dude, welcome. You need one of these.
Yeah.
Only our special pod people get the button. Dude, it is so nice for you to come join the podcast, and we want to hear so much about what happened. First of all, are you cool with talking about it?
Of course. Yeah, I've talked to everyone about it.
Yeah, because
every day.
It's a pretty traumatic experience, I'm sure. Do you still deal with a lot of emotions with it, or
no? Believe it or not, that's something I try to access more. Back when it first happened, it was so fresh that I was very humbled. But now I talk about it like it's just nothing.
Right.
So what I'm going to try to access today is sometimes I haven't felt the severity of the intensity of the moment.
Yeah.
In several months. The last time I did was when I spoke to two of the Good Samaritans who helped me right after I got bit, and they told me something that I hadn't heard of before, and that was that this scar on the side of my head, which I'll show you guys in a second.
Yeah.
It's shaped like a half circle. That's the snout of the gator, which is crazy, and they measured that against the gator that they caught, but they told me that it was scalped open and they could see my skull.
Oh.
So when I heard that, that's when I felt again some of that intensity.
Ooh.
But it's weird for me just talking about it so casually.
Yeah.
And more time that goes on, it's further away.
And mind you, we're going to talk about exactly what happened, kind of walk us through.
I honestly think we need to get straight into the story. T doesn't know like everything.
Okay.
He's seen of it. I have like seen and heard a bit, but like it is so different to have someone walk you through. Like I want to know what you're going to do that day, how the day went, and then obviously that moment, right?
Yeah, let's get
into it. And dude, the people want to know. So I'm just going to sit back for a second. I would love nothing more than for you to kind of like tell that story of like what you were going to do that day.
Got it. So the reason why I went out there alone, which is stupid, don't do what I did.
Oh my God.
Several things to do.
You were alone?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was really, really bad. I can't express how lucky I am, but I'm obsessed with Megalodon and shark teeth.
Yeah, you love shark teeth.
I love it.
I could actually tell by your shirt, by your necklace, and the back of his hat. All shark stuff.
It's no secret.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is my brand. I own SHRKco LLC, and I love it. But that specific day, I was frustrated because the day before I went with my buddy and we didn't find any teeth. We were looking for new areas, and I had been successful in this river before with my Shark Week producer. I had found my best shark tooth in that river previously, so why not go back there? And we spent hours diving there. It was in the winter, which is better with gators.
Right.
They're more
let's set the scene. Is this in Florida?
Yes. So this is in Florida, Southwest Florida, in a very wild river. Actually the same reserve where they found Brian Laundrie dead, and he was ravaged by animals.
Gosh.
Yeah. So I forgot about that. So he when they found his bones too, he had several different predatory marks on there from several different types of animals.
Dude, you just dropped an absolute bomb on us.
Wow.
All right, rewinding for a second. Obviously, you guys know Florida. A lot of our people are outdoorsmen, right? They watch us fish and dive. You guys know Florida is the most freaking lizardy, alligatory place that there is. And it sounds like this was a remote part. And if you don't know, in Florida, alligators are everywhere. we have alligators in our backyard, but they're used to seeing people. So they're pretty chill. When you go out, they kind of duck away. In areas where they're not used to seeing people a lot, it's a whole different interaction. It's either they spook or they're just kind of like trying to figure you out.
Yeah. This situation, the professional trappers believed it was a fed gator because it was remote, but there's a restaurant right there, which I parked at.
Right.
And now when I go back there, I'll get to the part later on where I go back in the river and dive and find teeth after the bite. But now you go there and there's a baby gator that literally goes right up to you asking for food. So here's a good reason to not feed alligators.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
As cool as it is, I get it. I used to do it. I got called out for it and got death wishes from it before the GoPro video came out that proved it was unprovoked. But it is very important to not mess with alligators or any other dangerous animals because you can change their behavior,
right? And
it could lead to something like this. Even though it's my fault, I got in the river, that I went alone, that it was free diving, and that it was mating season. That's all my fault.
Oh my gosh, dude!
So it was the perfect storm.
Yeah, for sure. So all right, so you're at the river now. And your goal is Megalodon Teeth by yourself.
So you're also upset that you didn't find any teeth. So you have a vengeance. Like, I got to go find some teeth.
I was like, I just got to go. We didn't find anything yesterday. I've got 2 days off. Yeah, I got to get some teeth. So I just went to the spot that I was familiar with. Like I said, dove there for hours and hours and hours. And it's dark in there. It's it's considered a blackwater river. So I've even spent hours diving there at night in the past. Like the water's so dark that I came up, I was like, oh my gosh, it's nighttime.
So is it like that tannic dark? Which, by the way, for you guys watching, tannic is like the leaves, like, you know how you drink sweet tea? Same thing. It's like tannic water. It's like sweet tea. Or is it like darker than that, like reddish?
Like, what's your visibility?
Color?
You have to have a light. The visibility is like 1 foot.
In like what depth of water are you in?
In like 8 to 15 feet
of water.
That's
not a lot of that's not a lot of viz.
No.
That's not a lot.
It's considered very low viz.
Right.
And at this point I've become very comfortable in no viz almost. So it's just something you get over, but
I haven't got to that stage yet.
Oh, that's okay. No, I completely understand.
I like feeling around, seeing everything.
Yeah, that was what got me more comfortable with it was I dove along 12 miles of South Carolina rivers back with the first time I went looking for shark teeth with my Shark Week producer and Steel Rocket, who I lived with in the Keys. And we literally just free dove it. So that's what got me comfortable with it. And, they're some of the best divers in the world and trained some very, very good free divers like Mark Rackley did professionally over the years, and then they just dive constantly. So they taught me some things, and then, you know, I did become pretty comfortable with everything.
Right.
Especially with gators being around that river. We went 12 miles up and down there.
Yeah, it's always in the back of my head. So, but is it in the back of your head that day? It's like, oh, I need to be careful, or is it just like, I'm out literally doing my shark teeth thing. This is routine for me.
It was routine.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done this, but I treated gators like sharks and saying like, okay, if you don't bug them, if you don't act like prey, you'll be fine. But that's not the case. And every wild animal is different. You never know what its story is.
Right,
so you can't generalize all of them.
They all have different personalities too.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just not a good rule to live by. And I'm an example of that. No matter how many times you've been around a wild animal, it just takes one.
Right.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So routine day, you're going out, you're like, I got to find some shark teeth.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming with a vengeance.
Yeah. So
how long were you out there? You know,
I honestly, I gotta hear about this, dude. I gotta know. Did this happen underwater or on the surface?
I found out that it was underwater once I first saw the video. I thought it was on the surface because everyone was like, oh, it probably thought you were a turtle. Just like, that's how they are at the top. They only see what's at the top. But then when I watched the video, I was with Jack Tenney with Juke Squad, and he went with me to NBC. And I watched it for the first time. And first of all, I have a panic attack. Second of all, I then realized I was underwater.
Right.
So normally the attacks that we expect happen are on the surface just because they think you're only the size of what is above the water. So they think you're really small. So you're most exposed at the surface. That's a dangerous place to be. But when I looked, my whole body was underwater. It probably just thought I was another gator. It may have gone for my head. It may not have. You never know what they see, what they can't see. They're not like sharks where they have a bunch of spatial awareness. They can't see as good, from what I understand.
So before looking at the footage, which is crazy that the GoPro fell off your head, right?
Yeah, it was. The footage was lost in the water for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and the fact that you guys were able to go back and find it is amazing. So you're by yourself. You're obviously underwater, like the GoPro says, and you get bit. What happens after that?
Well, first, I thought I got hit by a boat. Like I just got slammed. Just absolutely. It felt like I got hit with a blunt force object behind me. I never saw anything coming. I was in the water for 1 minute, and I'm on that bank, like just putting my stuff on, just looking out for gators casually anyways. But as stupid as I was back then, I still would have gone in the water even if I saw a gator because I've swum around them in the past.
Right.
But hindsight's 20/20. I'm a lot smarter now, and I'll tell you what, having a near-death experience from a gator attack will change how you perceive alligators. So I'm smarter now. I'm better now. But yeah, I got bit twice. So it hit me in the back of the head, and then it hit my hand too. So I have 3 puncture wounds on my hand right there.
So
yeah.
Was it just like a bite and then a swipe, and your hand was just like a ricocheted situation, or was it like a chomp? What was first? Do you know?
My head.
Your head was first.
I remember everything. So
my
head got
gosh,
ripped.
Dad.
So literally just yanked down like that, like very quick, and then it was like 1, 2, like head hand. I don't know. Maybe the GoPro got in the way of it because it obviously fell off, but it was crazy. It was just so quick, and there was no pain. I just all of a sudden got pulled down. I look up, and I look at her right where you are.
Yeah.
We're looking at each other, and I go like this.
So I'm the alligator.
Yeah, you're the alligator.
Oh
right now.
my gosh.
That's how close we are after she hit me, and she's looking at me straight on like this. She came up behind me, and she's facing that way, head right there, tail that way. So I think she spun a little bit because her snout was right here on me, and she's the opposite way right there. So maybe she didn't get a good grip on my head.
Oh my gosh. Man.
I don't know. That's just
for the people listening right now. I know we're being very descriptive with like how far away. I'd say the alligator after the bite, we're talking about like maybe 5 to 6 foot away, maybe a little bit closer. So after the bite, he's now staring at this alligator 5 to 6 foot away. And at this point, you're not in pain. You're probably gushing, dude. Right?
I felt it.
I'm assuming you're absolutely gushing, and you're just staring this thing down in the eyes right now.
Yep. So I felt my head, and I feel my hair where it normally isn't. It's like horizontal sticking out. And I look at my hand, there's blood all over it. And then she lunges at me. Like not a huge lunge, but she lunges and I back away.
Just like she just like jumps at you, right?
Yeah, she jumps at me.
Right.
And
But
I
she's
back
in the
away.
water. Got
and
it.
just from being around sharks too, I know not to back away super quickly and freak
Yeah.
out. So I stayed calm. And then she really lunges at me. And then I'm like, okay, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So
She's not playing.
yeah, she really aggressively jumped at me a second time. And then I got out of the bank. The bank's like 6 feet high. I climb out of there. And then luckily there's some people, Steven and Renee Rosenberger, who I now know. I called them over and like, call 911.
At the time, they're strangers.
Yeah, everyone. And then some other guy called 911 as well. And she got me my phone. I called my parents. And then, yeah, Steven is an ex-firefighter, so he wrapped my head as best he could.
Nice.
And I keep asking him, like, what's going on? How bad is it?
Right, right.
And I almost passed out a couple times, and that's where I thought I was really going to die. And it was just like, that was going to be my death right there. And I felt it slipping away. Now I realize it must have been shock or whatever, but I literally almost passed out. I got so tired.
Do you think the passing out part was blood loss, like massive blood loss? Because dude, if anyone's ever had a cut on their head, I've had stitches and staples
Bleeds
on
a
my head
lot.
twice now. Every time it is absurd
There's a
how
lot of
much blood there is.
Yeah, I got like
Absurd.
maybe a 2 to 3 inch cut on my head.
Right.
It was like I had my head down like this,
Gushing.
and it was like someone poured a whole water bottle out. So I
Right.
can't imagine.
Yeah. So, do you think the passing out sensation was, I mean, you kind of touched on it, shock as in like the situation, or you think it's like actual blood loss, like, or you don't really know?
No idea.
Yeah.
It could have been both, one of them.
You were very
The whole
aware of
situation.
like, I'm slipping right now.
Yeah, I thought that happened twice. I
Wow.
thought that was death. And it was just like there's no pain really. I just couldn't hear out of my left ear. Like it felt like, those flashbang grenades in
Right.
video games. It felt like that kind of happened. I was just stunned.
Super concussive.
Yeah, I don't think I had a concussion, but it was just crazy, man. And like that just got me. That was the near death moment to me where I just felt like we just go, and that's it.
That's
And
crazy.
that would have been it, and it would have been blown up and everything, and I would just gone, like not seeing anyone.
Because
again.
honestly, I would say statistically in the odds, like probably 8 times out of 10, that person doesn't get out of that situation. So,
I think it would be even closer than that, because if it would have gotten any other part of my body, it did get my hand.
Right.
It could have ripped that off. If it got me in my neck, my face, my
Man.
shoulder.
Oh, yeah,
my
let
arm,
alone, like,
anywhere
how the-
else.
yeah.
If it had knocked me out too, I
Gator
almost
roll.
got knocked out. I was alone. I would have drowned.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't even think about that part because you
No
said
one
it was
would have
super
known.
blunt force.
No one would have known.
So just to give the viewers or people that are they don't really know much about animals, obviously alligators have one of the strongest bite forces.
Yep.
And I just looked it up, and it's like over 3,700 PSI.
Yeah, it can cut steel.
Cut steel?
Yeah.
So his skull essentially saved his life.
Yep.
Wow.
It hit me in the perfect spot.
Oh,
No
man.
eyes, no nose missing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
That's
right.
crazy.
I mean, this could have
You're
been
a couple inches away from really just losing some serious sensory organs and
Truly-
everything
yeah.
like that.
truly blessed. And the fact that those people were just sitting right there.
It was a
And he's a
perfect storm.
firefighter.
Perfect storm.
Yeah. Wow, man.
That's crazy.
I remember when we got confirmation you could come onto the podcast, every bit of me wanted to look into it more, but I was like, man, if I look into it, like I'm gonna know too much. I want to like genuine,
Want
like
it to be raw.
right. And so I saw a lot of you on my TikTok
Yep.
at the time. I mean, still now I see a lot more of your shark teeth stuff.
Yeah.
now. Thank
it's less
God.
injuries.
Right, thank God, right? But yeah, you were everywhere on TikTok. I think a lot of people may not even know that they saw you, but yeah, I mean, you were the alligator attack guy. We saw the scar, we saw the bandage, we saw the recovery process. I even remember a specific fact. I could be wrong here. Remember, I didn't want to look it up. I'm a little foggy. You are the only person that has an unprovoked in the water alligator attack. What, I remember hearing something like that. Was that, or maybe a
Yes.
recording? I don't know. Again, it was a little foggy. I just didn't want to do all my research and
Sure.
then like know everything about you while you're here, right?
I don't know the specific stat, but what I do know is that unprovoked nature of that attack is very rare for
Right.
alligators. Crocodile is a different story,
Yeah.
but we don't really have those up here. So yeah, having an unprovoked attack is very rare. Normally it's someone messing with the gator. Like I know other people. I know one other person who got bit in the head by an alligator, and he was sticking his head in it. Like, so those are most of, those are most of the gator attacks, and people that own alligators or gator farms.
Right. Yeah.
That's how it usually happens. So this was very unusual in the aggression this gator showed.
And the fact that, because obviously we dive, right? So most of the time whenever we're diving, we'll click the record button as soon as we find something. But I guess thankfully you were just rolling.
Thank God, man, because that liberated me. That was a whole nother thing. When I was going so viral, there was like 90% of it was positive and stuff. But then when it reaches that much of a...
There's always going to be haters.
Always, yeah. So that strengthened me a little bit. It got pretty dark because this thing was out of control. My phone was blowing up. Literally every person I've ever known in my life was texting me, calling me. And then media, everyone's reaching out. It was insane. At one point I was so stressed out. My phone was just kept bringing off the hook. I was like, I can't do this right now because recovering from head trauma. And then it got really stressful when I started, like, when people found an old video of me messing with an alligator, which I understand now is a terrible thing to do. But they looked at that and then they assumed that that's what I was doing this time and that it was like a publicity stunt. And like, I got some death wishes. I got some pretty aggressive, like,
people are crazy,
things like that. And I get where they were coming from and to connect the dots, and the video wasn't out yet. But that's another reason I was like, please, for the love of God, can someone try to find that GoPro? Because I didn't even know if it was filming. I was like, please, I hope it was filming. I don't know if it was.
So the whole time, oh my gosh, that's even something else. So the whole time, I forgot about this. The alligator knocked the GoPro off during the attack. GoPro is rolling and or not rolling. You're not sure at the time. But now you don't even have the GoPro. So leaving this situation, GoPro is wherever that attack took place on the bottom somewhere, right?
Yep.
How long was that until you received that GoPro back?
2 weeks. And I had one of my closest dive buddies now look for it. And I went back with him about...
Was he not just sketched out? I'm going to be honest. If you called me,
it's Mike with
if
I
we were
Hunt Dead
best
Things.
friend, it's what?
Mike with I Hunt Dead Things. So he's always in water.
Dude, so yeah, that's just like, what a name. I Hunt Dead Things. Yeah.
He's one of my closest dive buddies.
That guy's not scared. He's going for it.
Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah, because honestly, T, if this happened to you, God forbid, and you called me, you're like, Brandon, I need that GoPro. I'm going to look at you dead in your eyes and be like, Tristan, footage ain't worth it, bro. The footage ain't worth it, my guy.
Yeah.
Well, here's what happened. So I go back to show him where I got bit.
Yeah.
And I'm still swelled up, got staples everywhere.
Yeah, so real quick,
eyes.
Tell the people about, like, at this point, I even don't know. How big are these gashes? What's the stitches and staple?
So I had 34 staples and a skull fracture. And then it bit my hand too, and my hand got infected. It was swelled up like a balloon because you're not out of the weeds just recovering from the injuries. It's also infections because...
They're super toxic, I've heard.
That's one of the most dangerous parts of it, is the bacteria in their mouths is very... So they had me on very strong antibiotics, and I still got infected in my hand. I had a fever from it.
Sheesh. That could have killed you.
Yeah. So, like, we had to monitor everything very closely.
Dude.
I almost went back to the hospital.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Could we show them the scar on your head?
Oh, yeah. Let's see here.
Let's get a punch in on this camera.
For obviously the people that are listening to this through the audio.
Oh my gosh.
If you're on YouTube, you can actually see where he got bitten from the scars on his head. That is nuts. Can I see it? Oh my God.
It's not as pretty as it used to be.
Dude, honestly, what a great haircut for that scar, though.
Yeah.
It's just
a little longer than I usually like it, but
it's just like, honestly, and like, you got to wear that like
crazy.
A badge of honor, dude.
I love it now, but you would not believe what I went through to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not worth it, but I'm proud of it now. I'm proud of it.
It's kind of like one of those things, like once you're through it, you're like, man, I'd never want to go through that again.
Dude,
but once you're through it, it's like, okay.
Oh my gosh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm a lot safer now, just in life in general. Like, I always look both ways, crossing the street.
You got to. There's no, I don't know. I'm not even going to say there's nothing worse than that. I mean, jeez. Dude, yeah, I don't even want to go there. All right, so you're back at the scene for your buddy to show him this spot, right?
Yep. So did you guys hear about what he found where I got bit?
No.
All right. Here we go.
Oh gosh, there's more.
So there's a video of this too. I'm back there just all swelled up. Like 4 or 5 days because I forgot my car there. Well, I didn't forget it.
You just couldn't drive it home. Yeah.
So I'm getting my car there, and I point him out where I got bit so he can go in there and look for it. And then he ends up, and then there's a video of me saying, you know what, there's probably something crazy right there. And I point down, and he goes down. He spends all night recovering a $150,000 never before seen fossilized predatory whale jaw that is never before heard of on the fossil record. It has 9-inch teeth and 27 of them.
What? So
It's
is this a new species?
huge. Yeah, it's a type of predatory sperm whale that's never before seen. Scientists had never seen it before with teeth that big. So it's literally like 5 feet long and like 2 feet tall. It's huge. And he's having it recreated and everything. I have videos of it. It is just insane. It's the whole lower half of the jaw. 9-inch teeth.
Dude, that's absolutely nuts.
It was one of the greatest finds of the year in Florida in a long, long time, actually.
Wow.
So it was insane.
So you're like, dang it, man, that damn alligator.
Yeah, but at the same time, I probably wouldn't have recognized it.
Oh, yeah, that's
okay.
true too.
I
Well,
was just looking for teeth.
man, what a story. So he found this incredible fossil, and did he find the GoPro?
No.
Didn't find the GoPro.
No.
Oh, wow.
Nope.
Just a beautiful fossil. Okay. So how do we get this GoPro back, I guess? Are you, at this point, you're stoked for him because he just found this incredible fossil, but you got to be somewhat devastated because a lot is lying on this GoPro, or there's a lot of weight on this GoPro now.
Yeah, I wanted to prove my innocence because I had never even heard of like a provoked gator attack versus an unprovoked gator attack and the ethics behind either one. I just knew that I survived something that I should not have survived, and I didn't even think of the scenario where people are now coming at me.
Yeah.
And I even had a couple reporters do it too, like pretty aggressively. And I really just noted, like I was so stressed out. I had so much anxiety about that.
You're double victimized at this point.
And I had like this one reporter really just, I told him they really take advantage of you sometimes, man. And like one time, like I had all these interviews. I was just saying yes to anything because I don't know. I want to get my story out there.
Why
And
not,
I love
right?
what I do.
I
and
would too.
People seem to be interested. But one of the reporters on a pretty big news station, we had something scheduled, and I was like, I had to reschedule because I was having such a bad headache.
Right.
From
Yeah, you're dealing with a
getting
ton.
bit in the head. So finally, when I started feeling better, I was like, yeah, we can do our interview. And then I told him, he was like, how's it going? I was like, I'm honestly kind of stressed out. I'm getting some, pretty intense things said to me about me that I wasn't prepared for. And I'm honest, and it's stressing me out a little bit. He's like, oh, what happened? And I told him it's because there's these old videos of me messing with an alligator on my social media that people saw. And they were calling me out for that, saying it was what happened this time. And he was like, oh, really?
So he just ran with that.
Let me call you back in an hour.
He took full
Gosh,
advantage of you.
dude.
And I was like, okay, yeah, no worries. Call me back, ready to go.
Yeah.
Just like, I felt like the CEO of, what was that trading company that everyone hated? Robinhood.
Oh,
They
yeah.
went after him, and he's defending his whole company, and
Right.
the world is watching. Like, that's what I just felt like. But in my situation, it wasn't true. It was not provoked. And he's insinuating that I did provoke it and just made it. I could tell how he could edit it from the interview to make it look like I did this.
It's like one of those things, like we all know news like has followed everything with YouTube, and like clickbait is king. And what's a bigger story than having the guy who survived the alligator attack? It's like having the guy who survived an alligator attack that he provoked because he messes with alligators, right? It's like, that's so shitty, dude. That's pretty bad. We don't have to put this in if you don't want.
I don't care.
But did you ever legally go after any of these people? Because you see a lot of this stuff.
It didn't get released.
Oh, it didn't go up.
That one.
Nice.
It could have. Yeah, that could have been defamation looking back at it. But the next couple of days, I didn't know if and when that was going to be released.
Yeah, but that interview was like.
And I was not ready. My mom was in there. My
dude.
girlfriend was there, and all like people are coming in my house for whatever reason, and I'm literally just there defending myself from something that didn't happen.
You can't be in a great mental place bullshit. To begin with because you're trying to heal, man.
I was all tore up. I had a black eye, head swollen with edema, and 34 staples.
Wow, I did not know any of that.
So yeah, that was pretty intense. That was the hardest part of all that to me, was the people.
Wow.
So, but sucks. I am now stronger. I don't look as much at, everyone's going to have a different perspective on anything. So I just keep pushing forward with what I know is best, and I know I'm doing something good here.
Right.
And I just stay true to myself and, drown out the noise.
That's awesome.
And the bigger your platform gets, the more you're going to have that. So it's part of it.
It really is.
Okay, so your buddy dives down. He finds the whale.
Yeah, I got to know about this go. Where did we get this GoPro, dude? Oh my gosh.
At what point are you like, all right, do I call someone else to try to come find it? Or
are you even thinking like, we know how silt is. We know how those river bottoms are. I'm assuming that one's pretty gravelly though if you're finding Megs. So probably
sand and gravel.
Couldn't avoid
more
too
sand
far.
than gravel.
Ooh, so maybe it got buried by sand is what you're thinking?
I thought it was gone.
Gosh.
I thought it was gone. I was like,
Okay.
that's where I was. He looked all night. He didn't find it. So I thought it was done there. And like a couple other people wanted to get in there and go find it too. But ended up 2 weeks later, NBC went with Fly Motion US, who has like underwater drones,
Nice.
whatever. Then I was like, yeah, they probably won't find it. So I didn't even go with them.
Right.
They invited me, but I just didn't think I didn't think they were going to get it, but they saw it.
Really?
Yep. And they got it and they pulled it out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And they pulled it out. And then
with the drone?
I think so. I don't know.
Dude, that's it. We
That's
need that
really
damn
cool.
drone, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
Fly Motion US.
Wow.
Yeah, and they did a great job. It was incredible. And then NBC wanted to release it first, and then like they were trying to rush, and I just wanted my time. I was like, now that I know I have my innocence, first of all, they wouldn't let me watch it. They put an embargo on it, which I wasn't familiar with. And then like I asked my family about that, and they were like, wait, why can't you watch the video? This is yours. This happened to you.
This is your property.
And they told me they're like, no, we don't want it to get leaked. And they're like, oh, okay. And then I told my family that, and they're like, wait a second, this is yours. Yeah. You're the one who went through the trauma. You did all
this.
This
Is your property.
You can't wait on them to tell you what to do. This has to be your release of the video. So even though I couldn't have gone it without them, I realized I was like, okay, a lot of people, this footage is, a lot of people want it. It's going to get leaked. I have to do this the right way with my best interest, because I've seen how much this has been spiraling out of control with the news. And at this point, especially with that aggressive interrogation of something that was untrue, I was really not trusting reporters.
And at this point, you still are not 100% sure that clip's even there.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
So there's like
yet.
that pressure too.
They said it's there. They said they watched it. They said, oh my gosh, it was rolling.
How
I was like, no way. Can I see it?
That's
no.
such bullshit.
I couldn't see it until I went there with Jackson Tenney of Juke Squad. And he has a manager. He knows more about this stuff. I don't know anything about the laws or how to do this right. I want to make sure everyone's happy. I just want what's mine and do things the right way.
Dude, I would be pissed.
Gosh.
So I just didn't know any better. And I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of because I don't know what I'm doing.
And also, I mean, there's so much money behind that specific story too. It's like, I mean, that's such a hot story. I mean, dude, it went everywhere. That story is hot. I mean,
the valuation of the first 2 months of exposure was $41.5 million. God. If I had paid for that exposure, that's how much it would have cost. And that was across the world. That was just first 2 months, and then other stuff happened too.
That's crazy.
What was it?
$41.5 million.
$41.5 million
of exposure from that.
Of exposure.
In the first 2 months.
Wow. That's crazy. So imagine, now you guys have heard this, and now imagine a news station has this GoPro, which at the time, they know how big this story is. That GoPro essentially is worth $50 million. The footage on that is essentially worth $50 million. Not necessarily. They're not going to put it out and cash out like that, but the evaluation of all the exposure, all the TikToks, the Facebook stories, all that internet exposure just blows up, right? But if they have all the rights to that stuff, that's how that goes.
And I had no idea.
And so, of course, this kid that got bit, that was whatever. Yeah, screw him. We're going to embargo this thing. That's how it goes. So what's the story behind that? So you finally, the GoPro's found. It's found by this NBC station.
And I know it's a friend of a friend who was there, and that helped get Fly Motion to find it. And like I said, I'm very thankful that they were there and were able to liberate me and get this amazing footage. But
not
like
great
I said,
circumstance, though.
Yeah, I was just, my guard's up. I'm really just scared of the news and the media at this point.
Yep.
So I really just had to talk with my family and see what's best for me.
Right.
Because a lot of people have been making money off of this terrible incident, and I really just need to have something in my control.
Right.
So that's why I took Jack with me and went with his advice, because he knows a lot more about video rights and all of these things that I still don't know much about. And yeah, they just gave it to us, no issue. So
What?
Yeah.
They just handed it over?
Yeah.
You go
'Cause
there?
legally
they're
they have to. It's not
Okay.
theirs.
Wow.
So I emailed them. I had a lawyer look it over and just say, look, this is my property.
Yep.
And we wrote up an email. I sent it to the director, and he gave it to me, no issue. So they did nothing wrong. They
Right.
did nothing wrong.
Okay.
But at the same time, after I got it, I was like, let me wait. I'm going to do this. I'm going to release this very personal incident that is now a worldwide thing on my own terms, finally. So
wow.
a lot of people were offering to buy the footage and own the rights to it. And I had some loose plans with Discovery in the future. So those were kind of my priority long term. So I wanted to make sure I completely owned it and
Right.
just had peace of mind with all of this craziness. So I ended up releasing it with Jack on his YouTube, and
Jack is Juke Squad.
Yep.
If you guys don't know, Tristan and I have filmed with him before, friends of the channel. So
really good dude.
Yep.
Yeah. So he said, look, you can put it on a video with me. He already done 2 videos on me about it, and I really looked up to him, especially with shark teeth and just Florida men stuff.
Yep.
So I released it with him, and he was like, look, dude, I'll give you the ad revenue from it to go towards your medical bills. We're still working on that. So
Crazy.
yeah.
Wait,
so I said yes.
if you don't mind me asking, still working on medical bills or still working about getting that-
Medical bills.
Oh, okay.
So there's the hospital still insurance thing. There's still a lot. They're fighting with the
Okay.
insurance.
I just want to clear that up because just hearing it sounded, I wasn't sure if you were talking about like getting the money from that video was a problem or, okay, everything's solid there.
We're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
Everything's good.
I was like,
Jack
man,
did a great
Jack,
job.
No,
No, he
Okay,
did
so
great.
Jack, okay, yeah, he's a good guy.
100%.
Okay, cool.
Medical bills suck so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the main thing. Like, we're still working on it. But where were we?
Just we were talking about actually getting it, releasing it on your own terms.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, we watch it in their parking lot because I just have to see this thing. Man. Of
course.
There's just so much I don't know, and then I have a panic attack. Like leading up to it, I have a couple panic attacks, which you can see on his YouTube video.
Something you dealt with before, or this is new?
This was new. I never had any panic attacks when I got bit, but this was more anxiety because I know what's going to happen. I'm feeling everything come back, and I
Right.
literally can't watch it. I have to let Jack watch it for the first time with no volume, and then I slowly watch it. I have to like look through my hands, like I pause it. I can't just watch all of it, and then finally I rip the Band-Aid off and do it. I was like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought.
What for the people who are just listening who haven't seen this footage, we're gonna like do our best to link everything in the description on YouTube at least because we know how to do that, where they can kind of get like a little more like visual aspect of this story.
Mm-hmm.
With that footage, do you see the actual bite, or is it more of like a moment where you could tell there's a bite? Because the GoPro's obviously recording in front of you, where like your hands would be in front of your face, and it sounds like the bite happened more like over your ear, which is behind your head.
Yep. So that's another reason why it proved it was unprovoked is because it came up behind me.
Right.
You don't see the gator itself at all.
Okay.
However, you see my hands and what I'm doing, and then all of a sudden, wham! I just get thrown around and pulled a couple times. And then like there's a struggle for about 6 or 7 seconds, and then you see the GoPro fall down, and it just lays on the river bottom for 2 weeks. It filmed for like 4 hours until it ran out of battery or space, and you see it looks like some leftover blood because it was very bloody. Leftover blood on the lens too, because I had blood all over my everything, all over my wetsuit. There's still blood on it now.
Wow, dude, dude, that is a heavy story, bro. That is heavy.
I haven't gotten into the heaviness of it anymore in a long time, though. I don't feel that like I used to.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I can talk about it casually. And
yeah, it is probably a good thing that you can talk about it, though, bro.
For me, of course, I talked about it even 30 minutes after I got after the hospital. I had interviews at my house, but just the heaviness of it, how I felt, and the humbling effects of it, I don't feel as much now. Like I feel cocky about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just like me in my own head about it. I still would love to access some of that feeling and just feel how lucky I am to be alive. Because when that moment happened, when I realized I'm going to live, it was just so much emotion pouring out of me. And that near-death experience and just coming out of that alive is just so unbelievable. Because I remember saying, I'm going to live when I was in the hospital. I could not believe that.
Yeah, I think I think cocky can be taken out of turn sometimes, but in the aspect of this is something that you love to do, right?
Yeah.
and you don't want to stop doing that. So you have to overcome that fear of life or death, and you did. And now you're like, I'm going to be able to get back in the water. I'm going to be able to go and do these things. And this one instance where you've learned from, and you've learned all these different ways to be safe, to have a dive buddy, to have someone looking out for you, and all those other things that you've learned it's a huge confidence thing for you.
Yeah.
That way you can do what you love. And I mean, cause dude, I think if I get bit in the head ever by alligator shark, I probably won't be getting back in the water. You know what I mean?
Really?
So that's an awesome thing that you can do.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I probably won't go back in that river.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
I'll do other stuff.
Maybe that.
Yeah, Tristan's like not in the shower anymore. He's like, dude, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not getting in the
stink
shower.
so bad.
I'm not nothing. Yeah. I think you would, T. I think you would
Yeah.
just be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in like that clear section of the water this time, man.
But that's awesome, man. How long did it take you? I got a quick question. How long did it take you to actually, obviously, recover all the infection and stuff like that? I know that you said that, but to actually get back in the water, and when you got back in the water, were you kind of scared, or were you more like just excited to get back at it and find shark teeth and stuff like that?
You got to conquer that fear, bro.
So there's 2 returns to the water. There's the return to the Gulf,
Okay.
which I had no anxiety about. I just went and I was like so excited to go. I got, a couple of my closest shark tooth friends now who just know a lot more than I did at the time. And they took me under the wing, which was unbelievable. They're some of my closest friends now, and we're finding teeth. And I'm finally finding megs, because I would just bust my ass for teeth and not get very many before this. Now I've got some people who kind of show me the ropes.
The Gulf is the ocean for our not Florida friends
Right.
here. So if they're like, he went to the Gulf, like, what is that? So he went to the ocean instead of the river.
Yeah. Went to the ocean, which I'm very comfortable in. I spent like 6 hours diving under there and found some nice teeth. Very excited about that. That's what I wanted the whole time. I was like, I can't wait to be back.
Right.
I want to find megs. I've got these friends now who can show me, instead of me just like spinning my wheels in places where I just am guessing for the most part. When I see all these people find all these awesome teeth, and I've only found like 1 or 2 in 2 years. So I was like working for not much results. But now I'm finally with the right people who can kind of show me and teach me, and it's been night and day. But one of the first dives back, I'm under the water for 3 tanks, 6 hours worth of diving, pretty cold, and then I just pull up this unbelievable 6-inch Megalodon Tooth, which is like the golden standard of shark teeth.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Huge. And I have it here as well. So they find those more commonly in the Carolinas. They're not as rare up there, but in Florida, this is like, people search their whole lifetimes and don't even find a 6-inch.
It's a big deal anywhere.
Yes.
But in Florida,
even bigger.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Have you, I just want to get off on a tangent here. I guess maybe lighten us up a little bit. Now we're talking about shark teeth. Have you heard about this $1 million tooth?
What?
You heard about a $1 million tooth yet?
Like if you were to find an 8.5, 9-inch tooth.
No. It's an 8-inch tooth is a $1 million tooth.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a guy out there. An 8-inch tooth has never been found.
Right.
And well, this is also what Jake,
allegedly,
our friend Jake said.
Yeah.
Oh, you think? Oh, conspiracy theory. So you think?
No, there's rumors of a Peruvian tooth that a lot of people say it was changed, elongated, because the root looks unnatural. But,
So wait, it exists though, but it looks.
It's generally considered not real. Wow. But you can't ship teeth out of Peru because of their rules. They've got big megs there, but they don't legally allow them to come out of the country. So
I love a good conspiracy, dude. Oh, shit. Dang. So I guess there is a big tooth out there, but it's just, as everyone knows, it's fake until proven otherwise, right? Okay. Interesting.
It's not considered the biggest of all time. The biggest of all time was found by Vito Bertucci. It's 7 5/8.
So close to $1 million.
Well, it's the biggest of all time.
It's the biggest one now.
Gordon Hubble owns it in Florida now, and that guy died looking for shark teeth in a river in South Carolina or North Carolina. He died
of like old age.
Of terrible rip current in black water.
Gosh. Okay.
And a hole with bull sharks in it. There's a lot of bull sharks in the river where I got bit too.
Damn.
So just don't go to that river.
One guy caught 9 bull sharks on a rod and reel on the spot where I got bit.
Honestly, you were just going to your leg, and I thought you were going to say one guy got by a freaking bull shark in the leg. Since we're talking about black water, stuff like that, Tristan and I have experienced blackwater for Megs one time. It was in South Carolina twice. Tristan has done it twice.
So I got a story. You got a story.
Yeah, I've done it once, and the guy handed me a screwdriver.
Yeah, I get it.
And I was unaware. He said, "You're going to need this and tie it to your body." Anytime from now on, anyone hands me a screwdriver and says, "You're going to need this," I get like major anxiety.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want. And they're like, "Dude, you're putting it together a chair. Just don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Not in this case. In this case, this was my lifeline.
Yep.
Because I was going 41 foot, 50 foot underwater, and it was 41 degrees. I remember that.
The water was free.
Black water.
Yep.
I don't deal with like murky water, let alone black water. So me and Jake are like do-si-do, just hooked up here together, dropping down into pitch black darkness, stabbing.
Hold on. The boat comes unlodged from the
anchor.
The anchor.
God,
so they're trying to drop down. The boat gets unlodged. We're like, dive down.
The captain,
I'm
freaking out.
They're freaking out. I'm like, go down right now. We had them on the spot.
I'm the wussy, dude. I'm like, are we sure we're
like,
going?
you
And then the
have to
captain's
go.
like, the boat's moving. You need to dive now. I was like, oh.
So they have to go.
Start going down. Dude, me and Jake are stabbing, dude, and we're just sliding away. Dude, the current is pulling us so hard, man. And that was
tough there.
It was scary. I found a bunch of jumbled up, chopped up Meg teeth, but I did find one badass spearhead. Yeah. Spearhead. Yeah, which was really cool. Unfortunately, I don't have a really cool case. It's actually in the cup holder of my truck. Has not moved since I found it. Yeah,
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I probably should do something better with it.
So my story is same thing. I did it with them, but the current, it went from high tide to low tide, and it was like a midpoint where there was no current.
The slack tide
Yeah,
when
it's
T
nice.
went. So he was just doing
great.
backflips in
I
the
was
water.
just awesome.
Love slack tide.
But the one time I went before, I went with some guys, and we put the anchor down, and we're climbing down the rope to get to the spot where we're going to start searching, and the guy can't clear his ears, and his eardrums pop. So I'm out there to film a video, and I'm like, dude, I have to get a video. Like, I'm going to go back down. So we take him up back to the surface, and they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I'm sure. I'm very comfortable. Like, mind you, I can't see in front of my face, so I'm doing this, and I have the potato rake searching for it. And so I'm really bad about this, and this is something that you should not do, is I hold my breath while I'm scuba diving to have more downtime.
Yeah.
And that is something that you're not supposed to do.
Especially when people are looking for your bubbles on the surface, dog.
And mind you, we had comm systems. The comm systems went out because of the current. It was just a weird situation. But I'm like, I'm not coming up till this airs out. So I'm going where a tank at like 40 feet or however deep I was should have lasted, let's just say 30 minutes. I went over an hour and a half with it. And,
wow.
And they're freaking on the top of the service. So my wife now, which was my girlfriend, and the other guys, they're slamming tanks on the water to try to get me to come up and all this stuff. And I just pop up and I'm like, yoo-hoo, that was
You're never going to believe what I found.
Blah, blah, blah. Had a great time.
Your girl's just crying.
They're like,
oh my God.
They're like sitting there and they're like shaking because they were like 2 seconds away from calling the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Because they thought I was gone.
That would have been an even better video for you though, dude.
But we would have been so much
Coast
trouble.
Guard called.
So I pop up, float to the boat, and they're like, Tristan, you just scared the crap out of us. They were like, we thought you were dead. We thought you were gone because I exceeded the amount of time that I should have been down there, right?
Yeah, skip breathing.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
And so
that's crazy.
So that was really bad. We've held off.
I know.
It's time.
Dude, it is. We've never had a guest bring on, I wouldn't even, it's almost disrespectful to say a prop. This is like the most epic show and tell of all time, dude. If this would have happened to you when you were younger and you go to school and bring what you're about to show on this podcast, you would win every show and tell. Like, you really would. So you brought, does she have a name? Or
No.
are we deciding she, he?
It's she. She was a 7-foot female.
Oh my gosh. I think you guys already know where this is going. If you're on audio only, we'll do our best job to be descriptive, but
if you want to see this,
you got to go to our YouTube or
Yeah.
Spotify to check out the video. So watch the actual time on where you're at on audio and then just jump over to video. Let's see this thing. Let's bring her out, man. I'd love to see it. This is absolutely insane.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, you seen it? I tried not to peek when he came in. I was like, I do not want to look. Oh my gosh.
There she is.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That is nuts.
She's still got some skin on her and everything.
Do you guys know how she died?
I know there's a crazy story and I want you to tell it. I know it is not how everyone else thinks, though.
Hold on, is that her teeth right there?
Yeah, I got her teeth. They
Yeah,
all
we're
fell out.
super gentle with that, man.
Oh my god!
I need a good taxidermist here.
Look at this.
I didn't want to do it right because I need it, or I didn't want to do it myself. Like the teeth all fell out, which is normal with gator
Right.
skulls apparently. There's all the teeth. Here's the bottom parts of the jaw.
Yeah, I was gonna say if she got you like that, then you'd have just freaking really felt like you got hit with a bat, dude. Oh my gosh, man.
Yep. That's
We
right.
might add some B-roll over this later so you can see a little
good.
bit better. We'll get like some better angles for you guys. But holy hell, dude,
That is nuts, bro.
the head is so crazy.
That is.
What you don't realize about alligator heads too is there's a whole lot of body and tail behind that.
She was fat.
Really?
Huge. I don't know if you saw the picture when she was dead, but I only saw this when we were looking at each other. I
Yeah.
didn't see what was under. So when I saw the first picture of her, I was like, that was huge. That was a
Yeah.
big mama.
Yeah.
For me, even though she's 7 foot, they get a lot bigger than that.
Any gator I'm in the water with, it's huge.
Oh,
It's huge, bro.
Okay, so you said
I gotta touch this just for
Yeah,
like my
man.
own mental sake. Just,
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta rub away the bad juju here.
please. She's all yours. You want her?
I do not.
I'm
I
just
don't
kidding.
want. Yeah, no.
I
No,
don't
you
wanna
gotta
give
keep
her
it.
up.
that's nuts. That's so sick. So you're gonna get it like redone and
Yeah.
put all the teeth back in it. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
I like it.
But it's also
naturally right
really
now.
cool like this too.
I like it. I like seeing the skin. I might not get rid of the skin because that just brings me back to what I saw.
I think
I
they
don't want it
can,
to be raw.
if you get a good taxidermist, they can like preserve that.
Cool.
Because eventually that's all gonna fall off.
Okay.
So if you take it to a good taxidermist, they can they'll preserve that, or be able to, because eventually, like I said, it's gonna turn off. So
Dude,
That thing
Okay.
hides.
honestly, man, this is so real. This is so real. And
that is nuts.
one thing, I don't remember if we talked about it on the pod. We chopped it up a little bit, obviously, before the pod, just kind of, like formalities and stuff. You are completely right. Dude, the size of the scar on the side of your head plus the snout,
Yeah.
it is identical in size.
Perfect.
And they trapped. A lot of people ask me, how do they know that was the exact gator?
Yeah, I
So
was going to get into that. Yeah, that's
they
perfect.
trapped about 3 or 4 gators out of that same spot, and they measured it to my head.
Right.
And they trapped a couple other small ones, and this was just the one. And I saw a video of them pulling out. It's the exact same spot where I got bit, right there.
So
they
she's
think it-
just there.
Yeah, they think it was guarding a nest, which added to the aggression. But also, it was near a restaurant. It was most likely a fed gator because they'd never seen one that aggressive before.
And fat. You said she was fat.
She was fat.
Yeah, I mean, an alligator by a restaurant that's fat is probably getting fed. Just
So
saying,
they-
that's
they
a lot.
They trapped her.
Yeah, and okay, so here's how she died. So the first night, it was an emergency tag. They call it an E-tag because they had to get it out. That's like the most emergency type of gator removal nuisance gator thing ever. So it attacked a person. They have to get it out immediately because it's considered a threat to the public.
Right.
With a freaking restaurant being right there.
Yeah. So they trapped it. They had it on a line, and they couldn't get it out that day. So because the light was running out, they had to come back the next day. They came back and found her dead, and a 13-foot alligator guarding her, and she was bit in the head by it and did not survive. So the one that bit me in my head also got bit in the head by an alligator and did not survive. And imagine if that 13-footer was the culprit originally.
I think we completely stop going to that river because there's a head biting situation going on, and you don't need to be any more part of that.
It's a trend.
What
I
are,
did-
also, what
went
are
back.
the odds of that? So she's stuck on the line. They leave her on the line. They're going to come back and extract her in the morning. They already got her hooked.
And keep her alive. They wanted to keep her alive.
I
Just
think,
live her up.
did
And I
you
asked that in the
request
beginning.
that?
I did.
That's
But
a good-
also,
yeah.
I learned from the trappers, who I now know personally, they don't kill them, usually.
Okay.
They're worth more alive than they are dead. So he was like, yeah, even if you hadn't requested that, it was still going to be alive on a farm,
Right.
a rescue.
Wow, dude.
So
Wow.
it would not have died, but it died more naturally now. Not it was at the hands of another alligator. That's how crazy that river is. And that's how crazy all of Florida used to be.
That's nuts.
Oh my!
This is real
gosh,
Florida.
dude. I know. I don't dive rivers like that for very specific that reason exactly. I was going to say very specific reasons. That reason exactly. But the whole full circle of that alligator getting bit in the head. What did that feel like to you? That's got to be an absolute.
I didn't know that for a month. I didn't know where she was. I didn't know if she was alive or dead. I'm not hearing much because it's not typical for the trappers. This was just such an unusual situation, and FWC obviously is controlling how they release things, seeing now how controversial it can be.
Of course.
So they have to protect themselves, and I didn't know this information for a long time. I just didn't know if he was alive or dead or what. So this was another miracle that I now have her.
When you heard she got bit in the head, what was your first thought?
I don't even know. That's a good question. Just another humbling moment where like, wow, that could have been me. I would have been smushed.
Yeah, not even just like the craziness of the fact that you got bit by her, she got bit by something bigger, but the fact that something bigger was out there. I mean, of course you knew there was bigger gators there, but gosh, dude.
I think I saw her with Warren Sapp. We went back to the river.
The 13-footer?
Yeah.
Ugh. Wait, Warren Sapp?
Yeah, we took him diving in the river. He went back with us.
Wait, he went back after the bite and was like, if I was ever going to get in a river, especially with anyone, I should go with the guy who got bit in the head.
Well, he reached out to me before I got bit and wanted to find Megs and diving.
So he's into the Megs.
Yeah, we've taken him twice. So one time in the Gulf or in the ocean, we dove with a charter and black gold fossil charters and found some. And then I hunt dead things as big into the rivers.
Yeah,
finding Megs out there, and he's the one who found that whale jaw, and he doesn't care about alligators. And so he was diving in a bunch of the rivers still, like even throughout mating season and everything. And then once it got a little bit colder, we went out there with Sapp, and I found some Megs, and I'm under there for 6 hours. Sapp lasted about an hour. And he was like, you know what? After we saw that huge gator, there's a video of us all looking at this massive gator. I was like, you know what? It was very close to the area. I was like, that might have been the one that killed my gator. And it was huge.
Right.
And it goes in the water, and then I say that, and Sapp's like,
yeah. For those of you who don't know, Warren Sapp is a legend. He's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer legend.
Hall of Fame.
99 was his number, right?
Yep.
99. I was watching him as a kid play on the Bucs, which was my local team. And now you're just casually out Meg hunting with him. And that's a big dude, by the way. He is huge. Yeah. He was a
defensive tackle.
I was gonna say lineman or something, but he was absolutely huge and great personality from what I saw. So no, that's crazy, man. So you think you saw the 13-footer? Wow. I mean, oh, goodness. Well, okay. Sapp's into Meg Tooth or Megalodon Teeth.
Yeah, he's just a big Florida man, loves hunting and fishing and spearfishing. You're
super into Megalodon Teeth, shark teeth in general. You have the whole company, SHRKco. Is it SHRKco company or is it?
SHRKco.
SHRKco, because co means company. I'm an idiot. It's fine. What is it, man? Because, dude, there's something about like shark teeth particularly that people love. People love shark, and they get addicted.
Yes. Most people that get in are just like, itching.
Yeah. What is it about that?
I have an issue. My name is Jeffrey. And
the first.
No, it is literally an addiction. You get sucked in, and once you find one nice tooth, like you're just looking for the next. And then
the first step in recovery is admitting that you have a problem.
Yeah, and we've done that. Okay.
But hey, I feel like under here, it's something that has really caused you to have a problem. So let's pop that baby out.
So
there's also no finish line in Meg Teeth, dude.
No.
There's no finish line.
There's no finish line.
Right.
You know?
Oh my God.
You find a big one, it's like, can't wait to find one bigger. All right, crack that thing, dude. We're going to give you guys B-roll of all this. If you're listening, I'm sorry, dude. Just imagine big ass teeth. All right, let's go for it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God, that looks way bigger. That's 6 inches?
Yeah, dude. 6 inches on the dot.
Okay.
6 inch club.
Let me tell you.
It's sharp.
It's a lot bigger in your hand over there.
Right?
That is huge.
Dude, that is nuts, man. Yeah, because I guess when you think of just saying like a 4-inch tooth or 5 or 6 inch tooth, you just think about like that distance. You don't think of the triangle part of it, right? Like that's huge, bro. Go ahead and put it flat and just show that specific camera. That thing is massive. So that's the one you found in the ocean.
Yeah.
Is that your first tooth after the attack?
No, but it was my first good tooth after the attack. They call it the redemption tooth.
And that's your best tooth ever.
Oh yeah. And
that's awesome.
This will probably be the best tooth of my life. My goal is to make sure it's not. But
we got to get you to Peru, bro.
Let's go. I'm trying to travel the world and have a TV show about Meg teeth. So it's called Florida Men.
if anybody could, I would start my betting dollars with the guy who got bit by an Yeah,
I've got producers working on it.
I think it's absolutely
we're pitching it.
necessary. No, for sure. Gosh, dude.
I want to go to like Maryland. I want to go to Indonesia. I want to go to South Africa. I want to go to Peru. There's some crazy places out there with some beautiful Megalodon shark teeth. This was from a 60+ foot shark. So if you notice this curve and how it's not completely straight, this was not the biggest tooth in this shark's mouth.
Turn it to the side real
So
fast.
it's got a lot of serrations. This is literally, and the colors on it too. And it turned out blonde, which is incredible.
No, that's my favorite thing about it. I love
Blonde
that.
and green.
Yeah, I love that.
You don't get that much because usually this would be dark.
Yeah. Well, it depends. They're like snowflakes. Everything's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But the colors that come out of Megalodon teeth, they're just like a canvas, man. You would not believe some of the designs on them.
We dug for some in South Carolina, which was really, really cool. And we found some cool ones. But they have found some, dude, they have like zebra striations and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
the
nuts.
lightning strikes.
Yes.
It's beautiful, dude. Like, this one too. I just found this 2 weeks ago, diving out there.
That's a Meg right there.
Yep.
Wait, diving in the spot that you...
Different.
Okay.
Same.
T's like, don't go back there.
I went back once. Now I'm trying to like look into buying land and just doing it a little bit safer and not trying to risk my life as much because I want to be here a long time.
So I always made this joke because to be honest with you, I love the hunt of things, but like I'm fascinated by shark teeth, but it's definitely like not my like
I completely
specific
understand.
thing. But what I always thought was really cool about it is I'm in a forest, in a creek,
Love it.
finding teeth.
Yeah.
Well,
And I'm like, damn, sharks are swimming around in this jungle? Like, how the hell did this happen?
Well, this was back before it was illegal.
Well, yeah, for sure.
So we were
that
actually-
specific spot. I guess you
Yeah.
can't because people are digging out under
Yeah.
the trees and stuff. I don't know, but a lot of people don't really understand how I'm in the middle of South Carolina finding teeth. I see that in the comment section of YouTube all the time. I'm sure you have a way better explanation other than the sharks were swimming through the jungle like mine.
Oh yeah, I mean all of Florida and parts of coastal America as well used to be ocean millions of years ago. These are 2 to 23 million years old, so the land was a lot different. The water levels were higher. There's more oxygen on the earth. So all of Florida used to be covered. There's Megalodon teeth all over Florida.
You
but
think there's some in my backyard right now?
deep, probably
Really?
like 60 something feet, depending on, I mean, maybe shallower, but they're all way down there. You just have to like go below the
They're
water
in a
table.
specific level of
Yeah,
of
it's all
sediment.
about how exposed it or how easy the layer is to get to.
That's
the layer's
why
there.
That's why the rivers, they're digging.
Yeah,
the rivers are digging.
exposed that, and it's only certain rivers.
That's
Got
what's nuts is to see like the abundance of sharks back in the day, like that there are thousands and millions and dude, how many shark teeth are left?
Each shark loses 10 to 20 to even 30,000 teeth in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Multiply that by millions,
Damn.
maybe billions over millions of sharks over millions of years.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but they're still very hard to find. This is such a very rare
Yeah.
tooth because if you think about it, you find a lot more small teeth than you find big teeth.
Right.
Always. It's just like humans. Like there was a lot more babies than there were 80, 90, 100-year-old people.
That's true.
Right.
I never
Same
thought about
thing.
it like
I
that,
did not think
actually.
about
Same
that.
thing.
That's crazy.
You know, in like 100 million years, it's going to be really disappointing when people are shark tooth hunting and they're just finding like little regular mako shark teeth compared to these. These are so cool because they're huge. And compared to our sharks now, there's nothing like that.
Nothing.
That
Yeah.
we know of.
The largest predator to ever roam the earth. Ever.
Is that
Right here.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And you're just freaking playing dentist over there, dude. Just yanking teeth right out their face, dude. It's wild. What are the... Well, I guess one thing about sharks, I thought this was fascinating too. You can expand on this if I'm absolutely wrong, which I'm open to being. You only really find the teeth because everything else is cartilage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Sometimes-
all that's left.
Yep. You're right. And we're lucky these are so well preserved. And then sometimes you can get their vertebrae, but those are really rare.
Okay. So there is a little bit of bone structure in there. Because like we were talking about whales, talking about a whale jaw. You found the whole jaw.
Everything, yeah.
Wait, I'm sure their jaws are...
Well, whales are mammals, so they have like regular bones, right?
I don't believe there's been a megalodon jaw. I think it's only the teeth. I know there have been associated teeth, up to like 27 of them found
That's
from one
cool.
shark. Yeah, and there's
That would
like
be
baby
sick.
teeth growing that aren't fully developed. Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
That would be really cool.
So, you're a treasure hunter in a sense.
Oh yeah.
Because you're, I don't know. I don't know if that's the correct term.
It's more niche down. It's more
Right.
Megalodon hunter, but I absolutely have the treasure hunting blood.
So the Banger podcast, the name came from items we find. Like we find an iPhone, we find a GoPro, we find a gun underwater. Those are bangers
Right.
to us.
But also whenever we dove for megalodons, if we found a megalodon, this is a banger find.
Yeah. So like we all have like our version of like our like top tier item. I probably can guess yours, but is there anything that like would surprise us other than a Megalodon tooth that like that is your version of a banger that like you only if you found one your whole life? Other than actually, I'm going to do it other than a Meg tooth. What would that be? Because I'm assuming a Meg tooth would be your top, right?
Yeah.
Like just a bigger one than that, right?
Yeah, that's my goal. So that's my banger. Besides that, I haven't found anything crazy like this. Like this is my ultimate for now.
Yeah.
But I would love to, find some of the things you guys are finding. I love finding treasure.
You're in the right spots.
I love historical treasure. I've found an old GoPro, reunited it with the owners a while ago too.
Yeah.
But
really cool.
just the ancient history is really what gets me. I would love to like dive old wrecks, like in the Mediterranean or something.
Yeah.
That would be sick. Find actual like the old gold coins,
Yeah.
like Spanish coins.
You know what I'm fascinated with when it comes to like when you said old treasure, dude, like Egyptian stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I am so like nerdy about that,
Yes.
dude.
What if we eventually you guys are huge, but if like we all get really big, like do some international dives for treasure where there aren't as many experienced divers, where there's no one really diving and there's no alligators, no crocs, like just areas where people aren't as familiar with scuba diving and like really get some virgin areas where, there's some amazing treasure. You never know.
It's cool, man. It's cool. I do have this feeling. I feel like everything's been touched. It's
I know what you mean.
unfortunate.
I
It's
know what you
unfortunate.
mean.
Like I know for you, like you go there and you'll dive a spot and you'll just be like, okay, well the storm came through, the water rushed a little bit more. Yeah. Maybe it uncovered a couple new megs because I've dove this spot a lot. Mm-hmm. And then you also know other people are there.
Right.
But there has to be a few gold mines left.
100%.
Absolutely.
You got to learn about the locals. What do the locals know?
Yeah.
There always is something. I know that feeling of like this has been touched. People have left here before, and I hate that lack of confidence of what you're diving. You got to have that confidence. Like there's something here. Someone else hasn't been here. That's what I look for every time.
Yeah.
And it is different with Meg teeth because the storm can reset everything.
Yeah. No, in the ocean, especially when you're talking about that, we did that in Venice. And he was like, hey, big storms are coming. A guy we have down there, he's like, big storms are coming. Just have your phone ready. Because when I call you, you need to head this way.
This Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're going. Dude, that's awesome, man. You'll have to let us know how it goes. Hopefully you get that $1 million tooth and you just throw me and T.
What water are you diving in?
Venice, the Gulf over there, Gulf of Mexico.
That's the shark tooth capital of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good place to start.
Oh, yeah.
I guess if you want to go find a good tooth, might as well go to the shark tooth capital.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. Now, so you said earlier you scuba dove, free dove, ocean stuff, been around sharks, dove with them, dealt with them, been around alligators, dove with them, dealt with them.
Survived them.
Which one would you rather not be around now?
I'd rather be around a shark than a gator.
I agree
Because
with
sharks
you.
just have the spatial awareness. They've got their lateral lines and a bunch of sensory things that gators don't have.
They're black-eyed beasts, dude. They're dead inside, dude. They are dead inside. That's how I've always described alligators. There's just no personality there.
Well, other people would say they do have a lot of personality. Like Gator Boy Chris, he has them trained like dogs a lot of times. And
Guy in South Florida?
Yeah, he says they do have personalities as well.
Maybe
But
I'm just
I
not
haven't
spending
experienced
enough
that.
time with alligators.
And I haven't either. And it's a very rare experience that we don't need to experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
good.
He gets an up close and personal, like he takes care of them and cares them so he can notice that. But like in the wild, we don't need to know that.
Yeah. One thing I always so I've dove with sharks. I've been around alligators, but I've never personally even seen one while I was underwater. But I've dove with sharks, spearfishing, and just like actually diving with sharks. Yeah. One thing that I always say about sharks, or they're kind of like a dog. You ever like walked into somebody's house and you see a dog, you know immediately it's like, I'm going to pet that dog, or I'm going to keep my eye on that and I'm going to watch out for my ankles, right? Like you always get this weird feeling. Something about sharks that can like relay that to you. Like I know a chill shark and I know one that I'm a little nervous about. With alligators, every single one of them, don't trust at all. 0%.
Yeah.
What is that? You think it's just because it's like...
Maybe the unpredictability. I think, like I said, sharks have more of an awareness of what's around them, and
Yeah.
sharks would attack you as soon as you got in the water if they wanted to. But
Right.
attacks are so rare, and gator attacks are so rare. But if, like, the other people I know who have gotten bit by alligators, they're mostly accidents. Like if they do the wrong thing and float downriver, and alligators have an instinct, if something's in their mouth, they...
This happened to a friend, not a friend of ours.
Henry Sadler.
Yeah.
You know him.
I know of him. I haven't
Okay.
met him. But that's what happened with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake was
That was
there.
in Jake's video,
Yes.
the Almighty's video
Yes.
on YouTube. And you know what's crazy about that? I mean, I don't know if it matters we name drop, but Peace River runs through Bartow, the place I grew up.
Oh, okay.
As a kid, which Bartow is like, I don't know, it's
Yeah, I just
30,
drove past.
30 minutes from here. Runs through Bartow. As a kid, I was not allowed to go around Peace River because of the alligators. And dude, they're huge.
Yeah, they're there too. They're everywhere. It's
And
not
like
just-
a 13 footer out there is real. Like that's a huge gator. Any gator's a big gator if you ask
That's a
me.
huge bitch.
Yeah, but for real. So, you know, obviously the Peace River goes pretty far, and Jake wasn't anywhere near Bartow, probably an hour and a half away. But he was like, hey, I'm going to dive the Peace River. I was like, bro, I would not do that. I would not do that, man. I told him, I was like, yo, I wasn't allowed to go there. It's definitely, I've kayaked down it as a grown adult. And I was like, still so many gators. I wouldn't do it. It's such a narrow body of water.
Yeah.
When you're talking about going down, not being able to see anything and knowing there's gators there, it's just not a good recipe. Sure enough, that day, dude, kid's foot got whacked.
He was floating.
Not
down
Jake, but the guy he was with.
Henry, yeah.
Henry. Crazy. I mean,
What, it bit his fin and
He was
slightly
going-
messed up his ankle, a
Ankle, I
little bit.
think.
from what I heard, I could be wrong. This is how I remember hearing it. Going down current, feet first.
That's what I heard.
And so he's just, you know, going over and feeling and his feet first, and same situation. Gators upstream, feet go, gator chomps the foot.
Yeah, it was just a reflex.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine if he went head first.
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Yeah. Now we know don't float downriver.
Yeah.
So
Or
that's
maybe stay
a
away from
precaution.
Peace River. Dude. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But that's where I got comfortable with freediving rivers.
Peace River.
Yeah, I did it all the time. Other people do it. I know, like,
No, there's
middle-aged women do it. Like, it's
There's-
just normal if you live there.
There's families that go down to the banks and grate shark teeth
Yeah, I've
on
seen
a
people,
regular basis.
Yeah, I've seen people literally hanging out grilling in that river, like bringing up their trucks and everything, just like floating down there
Florida is
with
different.
a like tube, like floating tubing down this river. It's just normal Florida stuff.
It's a real Florida man
Florida,
shit,
I'm
dude.
telling you, Florida people are different.
We're
bro.
too
Yeah.
comfortable with gators, and
You know, but I think we're not. I also think we're not. You want to know how I know this? We did a prank. And by we, I mean Jack. Actually, Juke Squad did it too. Jack and Juke Squad.
Jake and Juke Squad.
The alligator prank at Ginny Springs.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, yeah.
So
Sounds like a Jack
Juke
thing.
Squad did it with a fishing line. They'd take it across the river, and then when they see tubers,
It's a
he'd reel
floating
it in,
head,
and they'd be
and
like,
it's-
"Watch out!
Nice.
Watch out! Watch out!" Jake, the Almighty, did
Yeah.
it a little bit different. It was with him and Brandon, and they would hang up and
We were
be on
scuba
the-
diving.
Yeah, scuba diving, be on the bottom
in a hole. Paddleboard right
Yeah.
beside us with the camera. We could see people coming. We'd pop up. One guy would be the alligator head guy. The other person would be the touchy guy.
So that one guy would grab
The
him.
touchy guy.
Yeah.
One guy would
you,
grab
you would actually grab someone.
grab the leg,
Just
and
more
then
of
the
like a-
alligator head would pop up.
Yeah.
And they're like freaking, bro.
So I will
would
say,
too.
while everyone's comfortable, when people see an alligator, shit goes down.
Okay, good.
Dude, shit goes down for real.
Yeah, get
Nobody's
out
like,
of that water.
hey, it's Jimmy.
Dude, one guy left his wife, his like girlfriend. Wife,
Oh, yeah, dude, we
got
could-
out of the water. Dipped,
div-
didn't get back in the water.
Divorces were had during that day. I feel bad about it. Especially because you're here, I feel really bad about
don't
it.
care.
Like, it's such a like terrible experience, and we're just like making people feel that raw emotion. But yeah, people are scared. I would be terrified. I know I'm terrified.
I scare people without the alligator head. I'll grab them and they freak, and then I'll come up and I'll be like, "I'm so sorry, I just had to do it," and then they'll laugh or whatever. But
Dude, this pod has been all over the place. We've had crazy moments, life-changing moments, sad moments,
scary moments.
frustrating moments with the news.
Yeah, that pisses me
Felt
off.
dirty, man. Now we're gonna go light, dude. We're gonna go real light. We've got a segment we do on the podcast. It's called "What's Your Talk." The name could change. We don't know if the names. We're waiting for the comments to tell us what the name is. Anyway, everybody has TikTok, right? Mm-hmm. You were all over my TikTok, whether it was bandages or you finding shark's teeth. You've been on my TikTok a lot. Everybody ends up on these weird trends on TikTok. Like you go on there and you care nothing about food, but now you're on this weird food ASMR TikTok, or you're on like cartel TikTok, or you know what I'm talking about?
Aliens, yeah.
Oh my God.
We haven't even thought about that.
What TikTok trend are you on right now? Like when you go on TikTok, what's it serving a lot of right now?
I really don't even watch TikToks. I just create.
It's probably good for your brain.
Yeah, that's great.
Because I understand how much,
dude.
I understand how much like I think TikTok is this worm in your brain. It literally just like connects. And
dude, it
controls you.
It's got
it's
me, bro.
literally going to
They have
change
it figured
society.
out.
So I'm aware of it. And yeah, I see a couple of videos here and there. Mine's like workout stuff. Or outdoor stuff. So there's nothing crazy and weird.
Big fitness guy you are?
I'm a personal trainer full time.
Cool.
So, yeah, me too.
Yeah, right there.
Hey, yeah, I haven't touched that shit in a long time. He's talking about there's like a weightlifting set.
Let's do some incline bench.
I
dude.
was for a while, and then I went to Hawaii, and I was like, yeah, I'm just eating sushi and podcasting now. So I don't
love sushi, dude.
Yeah. So yours is pretty chill, just pretty regular, but
Yeah,
you're not
I don't
on it
think
too
it's-
much, right?
I don't think it's that weird. I do a lot of posting.
Yeah.
And that's mostly what I concern myself with. I'm very lucky that like most of my day revolves around improving my business.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to create content of what I have, planning trips, like working out and training my clients. Like I'm a pretty like when I wake up till I go to bed, I'm making orders. I'm always doing something related to my business pretty much.
It sounds so healthy.
I guess.
Gosh,
I just can't help it.
No, it's honestly great. It's a great mindset to have too. I think it's super important. I have a weird trend. It's actually not even my trend, but I saw my camera guy Travis watching it, and he's on a weird trend. And I've never thought this was ever going to be a trend ever.
Let me know.
Bullfrog wrestling.
How big are those frogs?
Well, hold on,
I
they're
caught
huge.
bullfrogs.
No, they're huge.
How big? Oh wait. Okay. So the bullfrogs are wrestling each other. Or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a person? Okay. I was thinking like
Somebody jumping on
I was
it.
like, that's why I asked how big the bullfrogs are, because I was like, there's guys wrestling bullfrogs.
Our
or
next
is it-
podcast, I was bitten by a bullfrog.
He's like, yo, I took an alligator to the dome. I could mess a bullfrog
Yeah,
up,
dude,
bro.
I could
No,
wrestle a
it's-
bullfrog. I'm pretty confident.
If it's the one I'm thinking about, it's
Dude, it's
two
two-
bullfrogs biting each other and throwing each other around. And,
got
and
it.
it's like this guy like talking like he's the bullfrog.
It's like
Which bullfrog do
sumo
you-
wrestling, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I
That's
don't know.
really cool.
Super weird trend. We've also seen Tristan was on a weird one where like crows were talking and like could mimic your voice and just
That's weird.
Yeah, it was weird. There's some weird shit on
Oh
TikTok.
my gosh,
bro.
I haven't experienced anything like
Yeah,
that.
I would
yet.
honestly stick to just working out and just focusing on your business.
For
Because you're
sure.
right, dude. We're in this weird worm of just odd realities.
You
that
will
are
scroll,
going
dude.
on.
I'll be like, all right, let me get on TikTok for like 20 minutes or something. Let me just watch it before I go to bed. And then I get the TikTok that the girl or the
You've
guy's
been
like,
watching. Hold
"You
on.
should-"
You've been scrolling for way too long now.
And then I'm like, and just keep going.
Well,
and
let
it'll
me
be like
scroll
an
back.
hour or so.
Yeah.
It's
It
ridiculous.
gets you, man.
It's
Yeah.
bad. It's bad.
They got it figured out.
Yeah, they do.
But all right, so pretty chill TikTok. I think that's great. You're probably the first person so far that I actually agree with. Everybody else has real weird ones too. No, so we have a weird question for you then, since your TikTok's not too crazy. It's right here. I found this on the internet.
This is the most random question.
All right.
This is a good one. You're a businessman.
Relatively.
Business revolves money. Money's important to make business world work. If you got $25,000 USD every time you pressed a button, but it had a 1% chance of permanently turning you into a small turtle,
Nope.
how many times would you press it?
Zero, dude.
You
I'm
wouldn't
not-
press it once?
I'm not taking my chances
Not
anymore.
1%?
He already
No.
had his 1%. This is his 1%.
Yeah.
He survived the 1%.
Dude, yeah, imagine a turtle versus an alligator. That doesn't work out well.
Yeah, dude. I don't.
So you're not
worth
pressing it at all.
The money wouldn't be worth it for me. And now, like,
Damn.
even driving on the highway, I literally check my blind spot like 2 or 3 times before making a turn.
That's You know
Wear
what?
your seatbelt. Drink your water.
This guy, don't
Eat
press
healthy.
the damn button,
Eat
bro.
healthy. No dairy, no gluten.
Wow. I love it, dude. That's honestly inspiring. T, what's your thought?
Probably 10 times.
He's like a quick quarter
There you
mil
go.
and some turtle legs. I'm good,
There you
bro.
go.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you pressed it 100 times, statistically, you're going to be a turtle.
Yeah.
I don't like those chances.
So if you, I mean, it's a 1% chance. All right, you and I right now will 3, 2, 1, guess a number between 1 and 100. That's the 1% chance, right?
Okay.
3, 2, 1,
47.
75. So you would have made $25,000 right there. That
When
felt
you get
pretty
hooked,
good.
It's gonna be like TikTok.
That felt
It's gonna
pretty
be like
good.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, Tristan's like,
Bump,
I'm
bump.
only going to guess 4 times. Damn. All right.
Yeah, that's
so
scary.
We're gonna have a bunch of turtles.
are you, I mean, damn, if I was a turtle, if I did turn into a turtle though, I would still kind of like try to plop down onto the button.
If
though.
I got reverse, I'm trying to make my family rich at least.
Right. This little turtle
So
is just printing money.
Can I speak at least still?
No, you're a full-fledged turtle.
No, bro,
It
you gotta
doesn't.
let me
It
speak.
says you permanently turn into a small turtle. It doesn't.
Small turtles, so not
Small
one of the
turtle.
long-living ones. Say it was like one of those tortoises.
No,
If
bro.
we're talking
If
about
I was a
turtles
tortoise-
and tortoises,
Nah, bro.
you're
And I
gonna
could-
live.
and I could
You're gonna
s-
outlive everyone.
And I could speak.
No, bro. This is not
like Kung Fu
Franklin
Panda.
from freaking.
You know those turtles? Whenever they mate, they're like, it's so bad. Okay.
I would be Master Oogway though. That would be worth it.
honestly, I think
If I could talk, I'm pressing the button 50 times.
no. Oh gosh. So, yeah. I mean, you could still do the podcast as a little turtle if you could talk.
Imagine having my little
You could just
turtle chair.
continue to press the button for me. This podcast could go to the moon, bro. Basically,
I'm setting up my family and friends. For
you
sure.
and I are rock, paper, scissoring to see who is turning into a turtle and then the other person, because like,
How
bro,
the f- does that make sense?
because it's one of us has to press the button a zillion times, which means no, I'm not saying we got to do it right now. There's no real button. This is hypothetical
No, do this shit right now. Let's
to
Seems
see
pretty
who
real.
would be the
Yeah,
turtle.
Who would be
Seems
the
pretty
turtle
real.
and who's setting someone up?
All right. So does the winner
Just one time.
winner win being the turtle?
No.
The winner gets the money and
Winner
the
gets
loser
money.
turns into a turtle. So is it 3, 2, 1, go?
No. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Or that's what I meant.
You freaking weirdo.
Rock, paper, scissors.
1, 2, 3, go. What?
All right. Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh,
So
turtle.
Tristan is the turtle boy. Turtle boy over there, man. I appreciate all the fun you're going to be bringing me. Just
Yeah.
keep pressing that button.
All
Was
right.
it worth it?
Hell yeah.
My boys went,
oh my
God,
God.
man down, man down.
So,
Oh, yeah, you got to turn the base towards you. Yeah,
There we
Evan,
go.
sorry. Sorry, man.
All right,
We
we're
always
good.
set our guest up with the flimsy mic. No, I'm kidding. All right, man. So on a real note, you've been through some shit. It sounds like some wild shit. Crazy story. Absolutely unbelievable. Sounds like your life is on an incredible path and trajectory, and especially with like the wisdom and knowledge that you've gained from this experience and everything around it. What are you doing right now? Where are your dreams? What's your life, technically speaking, after the bite?
So I'm fully invested in my company, which is SHRKco, and our mission is to help ancient sharks save living sharks. So like these megalodons,
Oh,
they
that's
went
cool.
extinct without human intervention. Now we're seeing on a large scale. Last year there were the most animals that have gone extinct ever. Like the highest rate was last year.
Wow.
So it's probably going to continue growing exponentially, and habitat keeps decreasing, and there's a lot less bugs from all the pesticides, at least here in Florida, and then red tide. And that's just our state. There's a lot of issues going on. So I just want there to be more awareness about some of the environmental issues that are gonna impact everyone sooner rather than later if it hasn't already. So I donate to this amazing nonprofit called Wildlife Voice Incorporated. It's run by Jim Abernathy, who's a world-renowned
I know that
shark
name.
conservationist, shark diver. Yeah, he's big. I'm seeing him this Saturday. We're diving for megs.
That's cool.
But
Yeah.
I donate to him, and he is single-handedly responsible for outlawing shark finning in the Bahamas, and he's done it at a couple other places too. So that's a pretty unsustainable fishing method, and I am supportive of fishing. I used to do it commercially, and it has a place. I never want to get rid of fishing. I eat meat, I eat fish, but I think as a whole we need to figure out a solution to the
balance.
problem and have a balance. It can't be too much either way. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but that's what I'm dedicating my life towards, and the shark teeth are just a platform.
Damn, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. We also talked a little bit about like possible TV shows and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And basically all that stuff is going to do is just tell your story, get people to know who you are, kind of your mission, and basically just help fulfill that dream of yours. Just kind of, speed that process up. That's awesome, dude. I really appreciate you taking the time to drive all the way down here, do the pod, bring the most badass show and tell of all time, and honestly, just like tell your story in such an authentic and raw way. Obviously you're able to talk about it, but the fact that you're willing to is a completely different thing. So we appreciate the hell out of it. If there's anything we can do to help you, and any of your links and stuff will be in the description of this video. We haven't posted actually one of these while these guys are watching yet, so we have no idea how this is going to do, but I think it's super awesome that you're willing to come on and do it. So
yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching another banger podcast. Thanks for viewing, subscribing, listening, doing everything and anything that you do with podcasts, because we haven't really figured it out yet, but you guys obviously had if you're hearing or watching this. All right. We'll catch you on the next episode. We love you. Peace out. Awesome. Thank you, bro. That was crazy.
That was sick, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
That is so wild.